because the breaking news, I think you might have guessed it, is that Manchester United have sacked Ruben Amorim. OK, Jamie predicted it just a few minutes ago. He has gone. We understand he met with Jason Wilcox and Omar Barada this morning, and they informed him that he was being relieved of his duties. Right, our reporter Daniel Kahn is there at Manchester United for us. Right, Daniel, just tell us more about this, how it's come about.
Yeah, I mean, Tom, just to recap that breaking news, Manchester United have sacked their head coach, Ruben Amorim, after 14 months in charge. He met with the director of football, Jason Wilcox, and CEO Omar Barada this morning, who, as you mentioned, have relieved him of his duties. Now, this comes after his post-match comments after that 1-1 draw at Ellen Road yesterday, where he kept repeatedly saying he is the manager of Manchester United, not the head coach. But as we reported late last night, there'd been increased tension between Ruben Amorim and the hierarchy at Manchester United, especially between director of football Jason Wilcox, and that has led to the United boss leaving the club after 14 months. I told you earlier this morning there'd been a mood shift in recent weeks. This has been building up for weeks now, especially since Christmas Eve, and it seems like it has now come to a result of Ruben Amorim now leaving Manchester United just after that 1-1 draw yesterday. Incredible news this morning.
Yeah, it definitely is, Daniel, and Jamie's going to get involved in this as well. It was very strange last night, wasn't it, when he said, "I am a manager, not a coach." But we know that his title is head coach, and it confused everybody there. He seemed to be taking a dig at transfers. I mean, was he supposed to have a say in transfers? Because normally a head coach doesn't have that much of a say.
Yeah, Tom, I think there's two components to this. I think there's one that I think when he was referencing he's a manager, and he also referenced big names like Thomas Tuchel, Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte. I think what he was saying there is he doesn't want to be dictated to like these big name managers in terms of their style of play. They will play however they want and deploy their teams however they want to win football games. And as we reported last night, a lot of this strained relationship between Amorim and the hierarchy had been about the tactical approach of the team this season. We know Amorim has always consistently been bullish about his 3-4-3 system. We've seen that tweaked in recent weeks against the likes of Bournemouth, that 4-4 draw at Old Trafford, the win against Newcastle. But then in the last two games, he reverted back to his 3-4-3 against Wolves, Leeds yesterday, two uninspiring performances. And I think there were real questions raised this season around his system. I remember when they played Fulham at Craven Cottage, Marco Silva, Calvin Bassey and Alex Iwobi all talking so openly about how easy it was to play against Amorim's team. I think with a hierarchy, that raised serious questions. Grimsby away, although they played a slightly weakened team, continuing with three centre-backs away to Grimsby. Serious questions having gone out of the Carabao Cup at that stage. Brentford away was also a very questionable performance in that loss as well at the GTEC Stadium. So I think this has been building for a while. Transfers has been a separate issue. From what I understand, that hasn't been the main reason for their tensions, although they had different strategies about it. Amorim wanted to spend this month, whereas the likes of Jason Wilcox and the likes of Christopher Vell, head of recruitment, looking at transfers, they didn't want to make the previous mistakes of the previous regimes at the club, really risking their future windows, really wanting to reinforce long-term the midfield, for example. We know they have a short list of the likes of Carlos Baliba, Elliot Anderson, Adam Wharton. If they spent this month, that would put moves like that in jeopardy, and that's something, while being sixth in the table and just a few points off a Champions League place, they don't want to do this month. So look, there's been a few components to this, and it just felt like they ended up on the wrong sides of this argument, and now that has resulted in Ruben Amorim leaving the club.